Okay, so our render is finished. It took 40 minutes to render in this quality, and mostly it's because the atmosphere settings and some reflections took time. So what I'm going to do right now is to save this as HDR, high dynamic range. The reason is why, because I like now to control a little bit more how shadow and highlights and post-production. Even you don't do this, you can notice it's already look very interesting image that you can use it just straight out of view. So let's go inside the Photoshop, and you notice if you reopen a straight HDR file, it's look kind of not very pleasant. So it's because it extended 32-bit. We need compress down to 8-bit and reduce some color range. In Photoshop, to do this, we'll go to the image adjustment, actually mode, and switch to 8-bit channel. You'll notice right here we have it our HDR toning. What I'm going to do for this image, I will go set a radius 1 pixel. I will increase string higher, and we'll start working now with readjusting gammas. Maybe pop up a little bit exposure. Okay, let's increase details. We'll give it us a little bit sharpness, and again we'll modify some other effect, but I want to be careful on sharpness. And we can switch back, and you can see how much saturation and color we have here. So we'll try to bring some of that color in, but not probably as much. Okay, we also can go all the way, reduce shadows, maybe pop up. Let me see on highlights. Okay, we can now increase vibrance and coloring a little bit. And overall we can bring a little bit more curve for the contrast. Of course, in this work I'm currently going for more as like painting look-alike. So in this case I can control it. See, we have our details. Bring a little bit more saturation and color, so you can see we have the image. Again, if you prefer work with the default like image inside the view, we can go say and save this as PSD as well. Okay, and here's the example. Save as PSD or HDR processing. With HDR you have a little bit more control over highlights, but again if you like to rework with PSD, so they can do this is just showing you as example. So right now we'll continue work just with a straight out of view Photoshop formatted, save it, and what I'm going to do it is apply a little bit more as a painting and some other effects, like for example right here lines, I don't think they look very interesting to me, so I want to add effect to them. But before I apply colors and sharpenings, I want to integrate them together. That will give me kind of a bit better look. So I'm going to zoom in, and again remember this was rendered on not very high resolution, so if you work with by yourself you probably want to increase a little bit higher. And one effect on this this area, I want to add kind of almost like a clouds fog. The best way to do this is by using brushes, and we'll go select brush, and you notice right here I have it fog brush, and this is from Ron collection that as well as clouds, and I highly recommend. He has very amazing collections available on DAZ website. So you can see right here we have it, some of his clouds. I'm going to reduce them just a little bit. Okay, and we can just use it bracket key to increase decrease. I'm just going right here, put on the back. we can go click, select maybe some other ones type. I'm just looking all different type. Okay, maybe put this a little bit closer. Okay, let's create another layer. Decrease, we have it opacity 100, so this is about right. Just add smaller. Right here you can see it's a little bit smoothness, more kind of interesting overall look. Let's add a little bit right here. Okay, on the edges. Okay, we'll reduce in scale. Just maybe okay, let's take our colors, select a little bit more yellowish so we can kind of combine. Again, let's reduce size. You can see, just add a little bit more to the road so it's create kind of overall fog look. Okay. Again, right here we have it kind of clouds, and we can go ahead, select maybe some of the cloud selections. Okay, preview. Kind of start adding effect. Okay, so you can see with touch up. Okay, let me group this one. We add a little bit more effect, interesting effect, I think, to this point. So now when I'm top, I press Ctrl Shift Alt E to generate level together. And right now I want to bring a little bit more on the punch and some shadows. And to do this, we actually want to switch to soft light. We'll go to image, adjustment, and we'll go to the black and white. On the black and white, we can adjust which one we want to bring brighter. And then we can see how the, let's bring a little bit red and yellows, a little bit up. Okay, we'll take a blue, a little bit darker. Okay, we'll click OK. And next we'll go to image, adjustment, and we'll take shadow and highlights, and we'll bring shadows up, and let's see on highlights. So you can see right here we're kind of creating this little bit more punching on a different color. And next we want to smooth out, so blur, we said about 2 pixels should work. Let's click OK, and now we can just slightly work with opacity and just go maybe bring around this area. Okay, so right here we just add a little bit more punch to this. Next I want to add details, and we have 2 ways to add details. They bring them more inside and outside, so we'll perform both of them, and after we'll see on opacity on all of them how they will work. So for this we'll again Control Shift Alt E, okay, right here, to create a new layer. And let's do one more time. So we have 2. We'll group them by press Control G. We'll take this group, switch to overlay. We'll take first layer in this group and switch to the vivid light. And next, by pressing Control I, we're going to invert. Currently you don't see any different at all. Okay, but if we zoom in kind of a little bit more in this area, we'll go filter, blur, and we apply surface blur to our vivid. So you can see right here how it is just slightly increasing. So let's increase this by 9 levels. Again, overall you can see kind of details start punching in. Let's click OK on this. Okay, zoom out. And again, we don't necessarily will apply all of them, but you can see some areas right here. So, and for this, what best way to do is apply with a mask as well. We'll create mask, fill up with a black, and next, right now it's no different. We'll go switch to the white color, take our brush, let's switch back to soft edge white brush and decrease maybe about 100 pixels, and I'm going to opacity set to 20%. You can very easily set opacity by pressing on a key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, which is switch from 10% or whatever corresponding. So maybe actually to 30%. And I'm going right here, paint just in the place where I want those details, and mostly it's right here with this. I want to add a little bit more details to these plants right here, so my leaves want kind of lost in a softness, and that's what I'm doing. Again, if you have a Wacom pad, it will be much easier to do than with mouse, but just for this tutorial, it's what we're using. Okay, so right here you can see we add slightly details, again not overwhelm. And next let's add edge details. Again, we Control Shift Alt E, combine all these layers in one. We'll go switch to overlay, and we'll go to filter, other, and we'll go to use a high pass. You notice on high pass right here, it's worked by the edges. For this resolution, you probably want to use the radius 1 pixel. If you have a resolution about 3000, you want to use a 2 pixels, and so on. Okay, but you can see it's already add this effect. Let's click OK, and I have this effect of the painting kind of applied to us. Okay, for this I'm going to just slide slightly and see which one is probably about 70 will be nice. With Photoshop, if you're using, you can actually bring interesting effect for the painting. And just showing as example, not all the time you can combine again layers. You can go to filters, oil painting, and all painting will add nice. Let's remove the shyness. You can see how it's create these nice lines. Okay, and we can actually just take stylization down, so we don't have it for those lines. They look nice, but a little bit less on stylization. Let's look on those cleaners. Probably maybe around like right here. I don't want to apply to this, but water and sky probably will be look good for this. Okay, again, we'll use the mask creating. Press Control Backspace to fill up with our black color. And next, what I'm going to do, it's using white, probably 30, and I'm start painting in a little bit this effect, so you can notice just a little bit in some areas, maybe right here where I think maybe a little bit too noisy for our trees, so it will add kind of nice effect. Again, we can zoom in slightly, and you can see it's kind of add a very nice effect on our leaves a little bit. So we can paint right here. Okay, actually let me I don't need to do this one, but I will add maybe right here a little bit more. Okay, so when we're done painting, we can go ahead and add a little bit maybe color correction. So I'm going to color balance, and right here we can see added maybe a little bit more towards red. So let's go to the shadows, a little bit colder in the shadows. We'll go to the mid-tones and bring mid-tones a little bit to the warmer, and as well on highlights. maybe to the warmer colors, some kind of, maybe right here. Okay, let's preview. Yeah, just slightly warm up. Okay, and then next what I want to do it is add border to this. We'll go to the curves here. We'll go take down, select border. Okay, let's go to fill up with a black, and we'll go to the feathering and just pop up feathering a little bit more. Okay, and let's switch this to the soft light. Okay, so right here we have our border. You also, if you don't like this border, kind of nice because you can go ahead and take this, move to the white. So in this case you may have it a little bit more like a painting kind of, you know, with a wider border on the end. And one more things, let's combine these layers together. I'm going to filter, sharpen, and I'm going one last, it's unsharp mask. And you can see we can go to very crazy, but if we just add a little bit more sharpness, again I'm just going for very painting effect. Okay, we'll go okay here, and let's check our vibrance. Just pop up a little bit back. Okay, so we can go ahead, combine all of this together, and you can see right here before, which is still be look very nice in Photoshop, and just a little bit more modified to create more effect of the painting on a landscape. So thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit us on our web is www.geekatplay.com.